Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today at Nugget 2021 for our 9 a.m. session. This session will be covering tips for aligning monitoring with your business strategy. I'm honored to introduce our next speaker, Jesus Cordoba, who is the Global NOC Manager at Planet. So Jesus has been kind enough to join us today live. So if you have any questions for him throughout the session, please feel free to ask those using the chat section of the Nugget 2021 platform, and Jesus will be answering those as we go along. So with that, Jesus, all systems are go. Take it away.
Welcome to today's online nugget. My name is Jesus, and I am part of the ITSM team at Planet. Today's session is about sharing tips for aligning monitoring with your business strategy. We will break this into parts. In the initial 10 to 12 minutes, I would like to share our story and then open the opportunity to raise questions and discuss what you all want to talk about. All right, let's get started. We must align our terminology. A business strategy, in simple terms, is a documented plan on how an organization is setting out to achieve its goals. It's the North Star. A business strategy creates a vision and direction for the entire organization. All people within the organization must understand the company business strategy because this helps to keep the focus on the decisions that we make. How can our teams and people contribute, and why is essential to do so? When the strategy matches the company long-term vision, it helps to ensure that everyone is working towards the same goal. Not all the businesses get it straight away. There are natural weaknesses within all organizations for various reasons. What a business strategy does is try to remediate these weaknesses so that companies don't trip up and suffer their impact too greatly. The business strategy looks at these future risks and helps to develop ways in which they can overcome these obstacles. Today, I have not prepared an agenda. I have decided to share our story and tips based on our recent implementation. I'm really considering sharing our mistakes as they could probably add more value to you. We have some scar tissue to prove it. We're going to break this into three sections: why, how, what. From this slide, I want you to notice that from left to right, we start with why. Then we move into how, and then to what. Many companies do this all the other way around. If you ask employees what their company do, I am sure that everyone could answer. Some employees understand how does their company does it, and very few know why they do it. I'm not talking about profit, that's a result. I'm talking about why the organization exists. Let's start with why. Everything we do at Planet is towards influencing the customer behavior when performing financial transactions by using our products. Planet is a 35-year-old company, and what we do is we create better payment experiences. Customers want to use the payment methods that they are most familiar with, making the experience quicker and safer. We help merchants, acquirers, and shoppers navigate the complex world of payments. We provide integrated digital payment services on a unique single platform that offers acquiring, processing, digital wallets, VAT refunds, and currency conversions. We now operate in over 70 markets across 5 continents. By the nature of our business, our services cannot tolerate outages. It is simple. If planet experience technical issues, people all around the world are unable to buy or pay for goods or services. On-premise or in the cloud, Planet has environments that are very dynamic. We have multiple data centers around the world. Now let's move into how. Everything starts with the people. A company is just that. It's a group of individuals that have values, beliefs, and they share them. The most crucial part of a business strategy is the people. Who should we make part of the team and why? The greatest people are self-managed. They don't need to be managed at all. Once they know what to do, they don't need to be managed. What they need is a common vision. This is what leadership is all about. It's about having a vision and articulate that vision so that people around you can understand it. There needs to be a keeper. Designing something like this, where technology and people come together, requires time and focus. There should be 1,000 no's for every yes. With this in mind, I wanted to share a really inspiring quote. If we want to take the credit for success, we have to learn to take responsibility. The people involved in these type of projects is absolutely critical. This is how we did it. We zoomed out and we made 4 main questions. What do we currently have? What is it doing for us? What can we integrate with? What are our future ITSM requirements? These 4 questions help us to create an environment for deep discussions, where ideas emerge and collaboration evolves over time. It's key to involve technical and non-technical people. The ITIM tools like Netreo are helping Planet to simplify and unify monitoring across domains within a single tool, eliminating problems of multi-tool integration. And they are also allowing infrastructure and operation leaders to scale across hybrid infrastructures and emerging architectures. It's about enhancing the decision making. For non-IT, is providing contextualized data across operations and business. Our desire was to reduce the tool management overhead, and we designed a roadmap of tools and a framework. We also understood that one tool could not make it all, but it's about how those tools can work together and add value to everything that we do. This is what we did. We reach out for help. There are a couple of key findings I wanted to share with all of you today. There is a really interesting book that was written by a guy named Paul Strassman. Paul has one of the most interesting jobs on the planet. He is the CIO of this large organization called the Pentagon. He wrote a book called The Business Value of Computers. He actually did it before having that job. In this book, there are 2 main questions. He surveyed a bunch of companies from successful to unsuccessful, and he made these 2 questions. How much do companies spend on information technology as a percentage of revenues? And how do they spend their money? What he found is that companies spend pretty much around the same amount of money, the successful and the non-successful ones. He found as well that the non-successful ones spend a lot of money in management productivity. And the most successful ones spend their money on operational productivity applications. Now, this was not very pleasant for me to read because at Planet, we were putting a lot of time and effort into management productivity. And we realized that we needed to put our mindset into operational productivity. Planet worked with a few technology research firms that help us to understand how other companies within our industry and business do this type of projects and implementation. This is not about mirroring practices, but understanding what can change and influence the organization's behavior. Our desire was to understand what other companies had done and why they have failed. These are a few key findings that influence our strategy and planning because we understood that the decisions that we were about to make were going to influence the people we work, how teams collaborate, and how we run operations for the next 3 to 5 years to come. The uncertainty experienced by 2020 will stay with us for multiple years to come. But with disruption comes an enormous opportunity to not just restart what we used to do, but invent new paths. Data and analytic leaders that drive will design and execute on strategies that accelerate change, build resilience, and optimize business impact. In this slide, you can see what was our North Star. This one-page document was made available to everyone. We used to use this on every decision that we made. We engaged business leaders throughout the process to ensure alignment with the organization overall strategy. For example, cloud solutions, vendors that Planet have partnership with, cloud providers. We focus on must-have features. We examine requirements to clearly understand and identify the most have versus the nice to have functionalities. Identify features that have no value implementing in our organization that will never be utilized. This is another example of a good practice that helps the team to keep the focus and a reminder of how every decision is made. We need to verify whether professional services are needed for a tool deployment and whether training on a tool was available. It's very hard to decline something that could be nice to have and that is important, but not critical. It's unbelievable hard to convert an idea into a finalized product. But this type of practice helps us as a reminder that Planet was one step closer to the overall goal. In summary, understand your business strategy. Talk to your CEO, CIO, or inline manager and communicate to your team. Recruiting, crucial part of these type of projects and the results. It's about the people that we work with. Improve collaboration across teams, technical and non-technical. Create environments for discussion. Reach out for help. Make decisions. Learn to listen. If a mistake is made, the best is to acknowledge it and change direction immediately. Create one-page document that serves as a reminder to the entire team. That is what should always be used for discussions and decision making. Understand your architecture. A lean monitoring architecture enables reduced CapEx expense and easy any effort toward IT transformations. Understand the skill level of the existing team. ITIM tool should be tied into the existing skill levels for the IT team operations. Consider the learning curve is required to be able to administrate, manage, and use the tool. Plan for analytics. Leverage event correlation capabilities and plan ahead to replace these AIO capabilities as benefits from an event correlation. One tool cannot make it all. Leverage the correlation capabilities you have and plan ahead. I hope that you find today's session valuable for your team and your business strategy. It is time to answer some questions and talk about what you want to discuss today.